Howdy, I'm Bob Terry, and get ready for a wonderful color episode of an old-fashioned Western called Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. It's all brought to you free here on the internet by Wild West Toys. You can shop with Wild West Toys online at www.toyguntown.com, and we hope you'll come by and see us. But first, here comes Sergeant Preston.
Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police with Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog breaking the trail in the relentless pursuit of lawbreakers in the wild days of the Yukon. Back to the days of the gold rush as Sergeant Preston with his wonder dog Yukon King meets the challenge of the Yukon. This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston. Wrapped in white silence for 9 out of every 12 months. Each day a few short hours when a breath of frozen air pierces the lungs like burning steel. 40, 60 below zero. Winter in the Yukon. The Port Trail, sole winter route open between Whitehorse and Dawson, 300 miles apart.
Oh boy, oh.
Up with the hands, driver.
What is this?
I said up with the hands. Leave that gold.
Did you kill him?
I don't know.
Robbery's one thing, but murder.
Let's get the gold out of here.
All right, Mugluck.
The driver of the stolen equipment had returned to Five Fingers to report the robbery. After supplying meager descriptions of the crooks, one very big, one an average-sized blonde, the driver was sent on to Dawson for medical treatment. But the gold shipment and the masked bandits had vanished without a trace. Following an urgent appeal to the Northwest Mounted Police, Sergeant Preston hurried to Five Fingers, the station nearest the point where the robbery had occurred.
Oh, Sergeant. King. Welcome to Five Fingers. I've been expecting you.
Oh, so you already know we've been assigned to the Yukon Trading Company case, eh?
Sure do. Word came through 2 days ago. You made good time.
Well, we had a hard-packed trail all the way. The weather was just beautiful. Signs of a storm brewing, though.
A message just came over the telegraph for you.
That new telegraph line is a great help to the whole force. From Dawson to Whitehorse. Orders and wanted bulletins with descriptions that used to take days to get out can now be sent in minutes. Should be a great crime deterrent.
It certainly should. It's a good thing I knew Morse code, too. Saved putting another man in here with me. Will you have a cup of tea?
Sure will. You'll only stay for a minute. Said you had a message for me.
Oh, right here. I hope it doesn't complicate matters for you.
Do you know anything about this man, Lars Ulvik, Dawson wants me to find?
Yes, I sent in the missing report on him. His job is to maintain the telegraph line between Yukon Crossing and Big Trout. He was due to check in here from Big Trout 5 days ago.
It was 2 days before the gold shipment disappeared, huh?
That's right. Ulvik left Big Trout all right, but he didn't show up here, or anywhere else for that matter. We checked up and down the line.
Weather's been ideal, so that eliminates ordinary accidents. Is there any likely spot that Ulvik might stop on the way?
Only Brawley's trading post about 2 miles south of us on the trail. I've drawn a map which might be of help to you, Sergeant. Now, here's Five Fingers. And here's Brawley's 2 miles south of us. The robbery took place here, right near the cutoff to Phoenixville and Pelly Creek. It's about 11 miles from Five Fingers and, 9 miles north of Big Trout. These dots represent the telegraph line.
Mm-hmm. Well, thanks. This map will be a great help.
I'm sorry we don't have a better description of the crooks for you, Sergeant. But all the driver could remember was that one was very big and the other average size.
The first thing I'd better do is find out if Brawley has seen Ulvik.
Oh, you know Brawley, then?
Oh, yes, ever since he had the job as foreman for Crazy Joe Flynn at the Phoenixville mine.
Well, won't you finish your cup of tea first?
Oh, I think I'd better pass it up and get out on Ulvik's trail. Thanks for your hospitality. Come on, King.
Do you think we should go on to your uncle's mine, Jack?
Look, Lindy, we haven't much choice.
But as Mr. Brawley said, we don't know anything about getting along in this country.
Darling, you know it took every cent in the world we had to get here. We can't turn back. I agree. If I'd known 6 months ago what I know now.
Well, that does it, friends. I don't envy you hauling those supplies by shoulder pack. It's 13 miles to the old ghost town.
We'll manage somehow. As I told you, Mr. Brawley, even if you had a team for sale, we can't afford it.
Look, Mr. Flynn, you're a couple of nice kids. In the 2 days you've been here, I've come to like you. Sort of like a father. And that's how I'm talking to you, like a father. You won't last a month in Crazy Joe's claim this time of the year. I know. It's no place for a lady, Mrs. Flynn. If you're smart, you'll go back to where you came from.
It's impossible. We've no money left.
Well, now, maybe I can... Well, here's just the man to tell you I'm not just whistling through my whiskers. Come in, Sergeant. Come in.
What's the matter, Red? You in trouble?
Oh, no, sir. Not me. But these two nice young people are heading for it.
What's this I hear about you folks heading for trouble?
Well, it's very simple, Sergeant. Lindy and I were willed Uncle Joe's mine along with the town of Phoenixville.
A ghost town. A haunted ghost town.
Oh, nonsense. Anyway, the last time I'd heard from my uncle, he was a rich man.
Oh, then you didn't know he'd gone broke looking for a new vein after the old one was exhausted.
No. So Lindy and I spent every cent we had to get here.
Well, I can appreciate your position, Mr. Flynn. But have you any idea what a Yukon winter can be? 60 below zero, snow piled mountain high, sometimes trapping you for months. And no one within miles if you should get sick. And no way to get to them.
That's just what I told them, Sergeant.
Oh, dear, everything seems against us.
Well, not everything, Mrs. Flynn. If you two are determined to go, I'll help you. I happen to be traveling light. So just put your supplies and provisions on my sled out front. I'll drop you off at Phoenixville on my way to Big Trout.
Oh, gee, that's great, Sergeant.
How can we ever repay you?
By taking care of yourselves. King and I'll join you in just a minute as soon as I've had a talk with Mr. Brawley. Why the sudden interest in the welfare of a couple of chichacos, Red? It's a bit out of character for you, isn't it?
I don't know. Just sort of like him, I guess. What's on your mind?
What do you know about Lars Ulvik?
Who?
Lars Ulvik.
Never heard of him. What's he done?
Well, perhaps nothing. 5 days ago, Ulvik left Big Trout for Five Fingers. Apparently no one has seen him since.
Well, then you can add me to the rest of them.
One more thing, Red. Did you happen to see the missing Yukon freight sled carrying the gold shipment pass through here 3 days ago?
It's funny you should ask that.
Well, did you see it?
Well, I did and I didn't.
What kind of an answer is that?
Well, it happened to be my birthday, and I was doing a bit of celebrating. I sort of have a hazy recollection of a freight sled going by late, but I couldn't swear to it.
All right. That'll be all for now, Red. I want to ask you some more questions later, so be around, will you? Come on, King.
Shortly after Sergeant Preston left with the Flynns, Big Red Brawley took a shortcut, impassable to a dog sled, to reach the old ghost town ahead of them. There, at the abandoned gold mine, he made his way into a forgotten tunnel which took him directly beneath the old hotel building and into an underground hideout.
Who's there?
Brawley, Ulvik.
I wasn't expecting you until tomorrow.
Oh, I couldn't wait. You're gonna have guests again, Ulvik.
Yes, huh? You want me to give them the ghost business like the others?
No, not this time. It's old Flynn's heir and his wife. They intend to stay. Sergeant Preston's in the district, too. He's bringing them here.
Yeah, I know about Preston. I picked it up on the ticker there. Say, you don't think he's onto us stealing that gold shipment, do you, Red?
No, but he's out looking for you. He stopped by the store with a mouthful of questions. So far, he hasn't any idea that you and I cooked up this scheme of tapping the official telegraph lines.
We're a bit too slick for him, huh? Who'd guess the Mounties themselves are providing information so we can knock over every gold-heavy mucker passing down the trail? What are we going to do about the two Chachacos?
The only thing to do. Get them out of here before they discover us.
Jack! Look, the door.
There's nothing to worry about, honey. It's just the wind. Here, I'll prop a check for you this time.
Upstairs asleep. Let's get to work.
What was that?
It came from the kitchen. Maybe an animal broke in. I'd better go see.
Whatever it is, I'm going with you. It's better than staying here alone. I'm scared.
All right, honey. But stay close behind me, just in case there's trouble. Whatever it was, seems to have gone.
Jack, look. The storeroom's open.
It's no use, honey. We've been trapped.
We'll freeze to death.
Here, put this on. No, we won't. I'll cover us up with these sacks. And look, here's a candle. We'll make out. And remember, Sergeant Preston promised us he'll be back by morning.
But what if Sergeant Preston doesn't find us?
He just has to, honey. He just has to.
A heavy sleet and snowstorm on the heels of an Arctic wind delayed Sergeant Preston in Big Trout for 12 hours. Receiving no additional clues to either the disappearance or loss of the gold shipment from the constable at Big Trout, Preston headed back toward Phoenixville as soon as weather permitted. At the junction of the two trails...
Well, more trouble, King. This is the third pole that storm blew down. We'd better hurry back to Five Fingers and report the damage to the telegraph line. We can stop by the Flynn's on the way, huh?
Candle's about gone, honey.
It doesn't matter. Nothing matters anymore. I'm tired.
Don't give up, Lindy. You have to stay awake.
It's cold. So cold.
Well, the storm must have quit last night. I better get back to the post before I'm missed.
And leave me here with those two up in the storeroom?
They'll freeze to death and it'll look like an accident. We're sitting tight until Preston leaves the area, not before. The Flynn's out of the way and Preston gone, we can continue our operations without interference until we have all the money we want. Then we'll skip over the border. What's that thing say?
Dawson, calling Big Trout. Wanting routine report. Big Trout doesn't answer. Constable Hedden must have taken the day off.
Oh, shut that thing off, will you? It makes me nervous.
Seems too quiet around here, King. Flynn! Flynn, are you here?
In here, Sergeant. In the storeroom. Thank goodness you got here in time.
How'd this happen?
Well, I don't know. We heard noises and we came to investigate and... Well, I guess the wind blew the door shut.
You sure the wind blew the door shut, locking it?
Well, I don't think it was a ghost, do you?
No, I don't think it was a ghost. You two better come back to Five Fingers with me. I have to be back there at once.
Jack, I just want to go to our room where you can build a fire and we can get warm. I'd feel safer there.
The only thing that really matters to us is some rest. We're staying, Sergeant.
All right. I think you better stay in your room with the door locked until I can return and look around a little.
All right.
Sure, Sergeant. Come on, Lindy.
All right, King. On you, Husky.
They got us in the soup this time. Preston's bound to find out everything when he gets back.
Maybe he won't get back.
What's to stop him?
You send out messages in that contraption, too?
Sure, that's the way we used to keep in touch when we were stringing the telegraph line. Just connect in anywhere and report back. Why?
Sit down, I'll show you. I'll write down what I tell you. This will be a message from Big Trout to Five Fingers. Like this. Please request Sergeant Preston meet me old trapper's cabin, Pelly Creek. Urgent. Have evidence on gold robbery. Will wait arrival. Sign it, Constable Hedden.
What if Wayne wires back to Hedden for confirmation?
Where's your mind? Didn't you say Big Trout wasn't answering Dawson?
That's right. This is a good trick to get Preston away from here.
I'm going back to the store and pick up my rifle. Pistol's not accurate enough for this kind of a job.
You mean you're going to kill Preston? I thought you just wanted him out of the way.
I do. Permanently.
Oh, King.
Oh, hello, Sergeant. Any sign of Ulvik?
Not yet.
Just been out running my traps.
You've been out in that storm all this time? Thought you had more sense, Red.
Me in the blizzard? Heck, I've only been away a few hours.
We haven't had any snow since yesterday, Red.
What an eye. As a matter of fact, I was out before the storm, too. I forgot I put out the sign until just now. Probably cost me some business.
Carelessness is always costly, Red. On, King!
Where are you going?
I'm just going out to get some firewood, honey. I'll be right back.
I thought that was you, Sergeant. Another message just came in for you. Did you find Ulvik?
No, not yet. Big Trout. Are you sure?
Of course I'm sure. It came in less than an hour ago.
Cabin at Pelly Creek. Corporal, this message didn't come from Big Trout.
I don't understand.
The line's down, pole and all. I saw it myself at Phoenixville Crossing, and in 2 places below that.
Well, what kind of a game is this?
It's possibly a very dangerous one.
You mean someone sending out a false message?
That's exactly what I mean. Your line's been tapped by someone that's familiar with our communication system.
And what are you going to do about it?
I'm going to catch him in his own trap. Don't forget to report that line break to Dawson. That's why I hurried back here.
On the way. You get the message through? Hey, where did he come from?
Caught him snooping around. He found the secret entrance to our hiding place.
We've no time to waste. Drag him out into the tunnel and take care of him.
Oh, wait a minute, Red. I can't.
What's the matter, Yellow?
Oh, no, but... Well, all right. I'll do as you say.
All right. Now, what about the message? You get it through? Good. Now, your job better be done by the time I get back.
Steady, boys. Now listen carefully, King. I'm going to circle the house, see? Put you on this free lead. When I signal you, you lead the team over there. Understand? Okay, boy.
Pretty soon it'll be too dark to aim good.
Drop that gun, Brawley.
We'll tell everything.
Back, King. All right, Brawley, on your feet. You've a lot to answer for. Come on. Let's go.
You brought this all on yourself by being so nosy.
Who are you? What do you want?
Still pretty nosy, huh? Well, you're going to get cured.
So you're the one who stole the gold shipment?
Yeah, it's too bad you didn't find that out in time to collect the reward. Get on your feet. Out the door.
On you, Husky!
What good will it do you to kill me? Sergeant Preston's on your heels.
That's rich. If you're depending on the Mountie, you're wasting your time. Preston's dead by this time. That's far enough. Turn around.
Throw your gun away.
Lindy!
Now untie my husband.
On, King!
Now get over here with him.
No, you mustn't.
I wasn't going to kill your husband, lady. But just for that trick, now I'm going to take care of you both.
Drop your gun, Ulvik. You're the man that caused all this trouble. I arrest you in the name of the Crown for robbery and attempted murder. Pick up his gun, Jack.
I guess this is the word you've been waiting for, Sergeant.
Well, you're right. Evidently just in time. Take these two outside and tie them to the sled.
All right, you two. Outside.
This is why I asked you two to stop by.
You mean we get the 10,000 reward for the recovery of the gold shipment?
That's the confirmation from Dawson. What do you plan to do with it?
We'll use it to rebuild Phoenixville the way Uncle Joe would have liked us to. It'll be a prosperous mining town again.
But we should share the reward with you and King, Sergeant. That's only fair, isn't it?
Oh, King and I were just doing our job. Our reward is knowing that the criminals are caught and punished. Isn't that right, King? For us, this case is closed.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of Sergeant Preston, brought to you free here on the internet by Wild West Toys, Toy Guntown website. And we hope you'll come on down the trail and see us. Thanks again for watching. Hope you'll watch some more of our videos. Y'all have a great day.
This is the Yukon, the territory patrolled by Sergeant Preston, one of less than 300 uniformed guardians of justice in a land bigger than the whole of New England. A land filled with men of every nationality and station drawn by the lure of easy riches. 40 Mile, a pioneer town of some 200 cabins and places of amusement.
No, Hiawatha. You're too far over to the left.
Poor man, are you hurt?
Just my feelings, I guess. But he sure ruined my hat, whoever it was.
Well, who were they, do you know?
Ma'am, I don't even know what they were.
The wounded Indian, Skookum Charlie, died even before word of the crime had been telegraphed to Mounted Police Headquarters at Dawson. Within 24 hours, Sergeant Preston was in 40 Mile beginning work on the case.
I tell you, Sergeant, they knew what they were after, but it was impossible to identify the three men. They kept me with my face to the wall, worked fast, and rushed out the door. By the time I got my gun out of the desk and went after them, they were out of range.
You say your two warehousemen were unloading a boat and your bookkeeper was at the post office, is that right?
Yeah, that's right. They caught me from behind while I was alone there.
Were there any witnesses who might have seen the direction they took?
No, there were no people around. Everybody had stampeded to Miller's Creek. Say, wait a minute. There was a photographer who got slugged over the head. And Miss Laverne happened along and took care of him.
Dolly Laverne, the performer?
Yeah. You know, some people have all the luck. She's some looker.
Well, thanks, Mr. McBain. I'll have a talk with Miss Laverne and try to find out who the photographer is. Meanwhile, I'll see if King can pick up a trail from this piece of torn shirt. Evidently, one of the men caught himself on a protruding nail from a crate inside. I talked with your men here, and none of them have a shirt made of this material.
Well, I hope King has success with it, Sergeant. They got away with a fortune in furs. You know, that's a wonderful dog you have there.
Oh, thanks. He's quite a dog. Practically a member of the force. Well, I'll keep you informed, McBain. Advise Dawson to issue a notice of the theft to all of our checkpoint posts. Goodbye.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Night, gentlemen. Good boy, King. Let's see what we can make out of these tracks. 2 boats. They got narrower keel marks than usual. Yeah, they must have taken their horses with them. A smart leader, King, that knows how to break a scent.
Well, of clothes.
You say this is, your horse, Mr. Loge?
He certainly is. I reported him stolen 2 days ago. I'm happy to get him back.
Any idea who stole him?
If I did, Sergeant, I'd sure make him sorry for it.
Have you seen anybody around here that might be suffering from a toothache?
Nope, I can't say that I have. Why?
Oh, I thought it might cast some light on one of the men who took part in the robbery. Keep a lookout for me, will you, Loge?
Sure, Sergeant, sure. Get all kinds of customers around here.
Much obliged. All right, Mr. Hennessy. Any idea where Miss Laverne might be?
She said she was riding out to the picture fella's cabin.
You mean the photographer that was taking pictures at the time of the fur robbery?
Yeah. Name's Horace Bean. And I'm blessed if I know what she sees in him.
Where is this photographer's cabin?
The old Duff place. Out trail.
Thanks, Mr. Hennessy.
Hold the breath, please. 1, 2, 3. Oh, gosh, you moved.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, I hope I didn't spoil the picture.
Oh, not at all, Sarge. This is Mr. Bean.
How do you do, sir?
Good morning, Sergeant.
Horace offered to take some pictures of me. He's been awfully nice, and he's such an artist.
Small repayment for Miss Laverne's looking after me. Her pictures will also add color to my series. You know, beautiful lady in the wild Yukon, a diamond in the rough setting, that sort of thing. Great copy.
I'm glad to find you two together. Please tell me all you know about the robbery and the shooting at the Madison warehouse. By any chance did you happen to get a picture, Mr. Bean?
On the spot with a camera and not a picture to show for it. A terrible thing, but I can't be much help. I didn't see any of it. I guess my editor was right. I'm no good.
Nonsense, Horace. Wait till he sees that picture you took of me. Then he'll change his tune. Oh, but Horace is right about the thieves. We didn't get a chance to look at them. It happened so fast.
For a daylight crime, this one's strangely lacking in witnesses. I've one request to make of you, Miss Laverne.
Yes?
Well, most everyone goes to see your performance at the music hall.
Well, thank you, Sergeant.
If you should see a man with a swollen jaw, get in touch with me at once. And advise no one.
Swollen jaw? I don't believe I understand.
Well, I have reason to believe that one of the men who took part in the robbery is suffering from a bad toothache. It's just a long chance, but, well, I found this.
Well, that smells like a roll of cloves.
That's right, Miss Laverne. A standard remedy for toothache everywhere.
Oh, my, I'm going to be late for rehearsal. Horace, can we finish this later?
Fine.
Oh, Sergeant, may I drive back with you?
It'll be a pleasure.
Fine.
Bye, Mr. Bean.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Goodbye, Horace.
Bye. What if I should find the man with a toothache? Intrepid, newsman, captures, desperate, criminal. What a headline.
It was certainly nice talking with you, Sergeant. I hope I didn't bore you with all my questions. But you're in such an interesting business.
It was a pleasure, Miss Laverne. Good day.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Oh, Miss Laverne. I can take your horse for that shoeing job now.
Let me go. You're hurting me.
Not before I find out what you were talking to that Monty about.
Nothing that was any of your business.
Well, just see that you don't tell Preston anything.
I told you last night, I want nothing further to do with you. You and your ideas for easy money. What makes you think I'd talk the law about what I know? Lady, my business here's a lot.
Dolly, you know I'm crazy about you. I'm sorry.
I don't really care how you feel. Just leave me alone.
Someday, someone's going to make a camera you can put in your back pocket. Come on, Jeremiah. You and I are going to take some nature studies.
Somebody's coming. Am I glad to see you. Give me my oil of clothes.
Didn't have time to get it.
This is no time for joking.
I'm not joking. I haven't got it.
I've got to have it. This tooth is killing me.
I offered to pull it out a long time ago. It'd be all over in a minute.
Oh.
All right, then suffer.
I'll go crazy.
I told you I didn't have time to get it. Sergeant Preston's in town. Somehow he knows about your toothache and swollen jaw. You and Tyler just wait it out here. Ramsey gets in on the bell tomorrow. When he pays off for these furs, you boys get your split in vamoose. I continue to run my business. That Monty's poison.
Might as well be dead as this way.
Don't be stupid. I'll bring the stuff out with Ramsey tomorrow.
No, Kip, no. Today, do you hear me now? Do you want me to go crazy?
It's about all we need. All right, come along to the edge of town with me. I'll bring the stuff out to you and you get right back out here.
Oh, thanks, Skip. Thanks. You'll never regret this.
Just one warning, Ford. Keep out of sight when I leave you. Preston sees you. You lead that Monty hair on your way back, so help me. I'll gun you down. Keep your ears and eyes open till this guy gets back.
No one will see me. Come on, Kip. This place gives me the creeps.
It still beats the gallows.
Come in.
Well, still photographing your favorite entertainer, eh?
Hello, Sergeant. No, this is a landscape view, the one that's going to cinch my job for me back home.
Oh, yes, I know the spot. I was below there yesterday. Hey, just a minute. Isn't this a rowboat on the river?
I guess so. I don't think it spoils the picture, do you?
Oh, as a matter of fact, I'm real curious about this boat. Bean, do you have some way of enlarging this portion of the picture with the boat in it?
It'll take a lot of time and work. Sure, I can do it, Sergeant.
Good. How long will it take you?
Well, if 7 by 11 is large enough, I'll get right to it. Ready first thing in the morning. Why do you only want this particular part of the picture? It's not much artistically.
Well, Bean, this might turn out to be the best picture you ever took. Might help me catch the fur thieves and the murder of Skookum Charlie.
That does it. I know I shouldn't have brought you. Get off.
You promised my medicine.
You're heading back to the cabin now. You'd better be careful. Keep to the brush. All right, get off. Start walking. Now, come on.
I'm your neighbor down the trail here. I've got a terrible toothache. I thought maybe you might be able to help.
Toothache? Well, I don't know. I have quite a few chemicals.
Dr. Bushmiller's painkiller? Oil of cloves.
Oil of cloves?
Oil of cloves.
Well, step into my laboratory. We'll find something. Go on in. I think I know just the thing for you. Got you. Get me out of here. Not till I fetch Sergeant Preston, you robber, you murderer. Come on, Jeremiah. We've got to get to Preston right away. Oh! Hey! Jeremiah! Oh!
Dolly, I have to talk to you. I've got to tell you how I feel about you.
You know how I feel about you, Kip Loge. Just leave me alone. I have a show to do in a few minutes, and I'd like to get a breath of fresh air.
Dolly, you know I love you.
I'll do anything for you, give you anything. With the furs I've stored in the cabin, I'm going to have plenty of money. I won't have to run a livery stable business much longer. You and I can go away together, get married, live it up back in the States.
Furs? Money? Where would you get furs and money? Certainly the livery business isn't that profitable.
You're a smart girl, Dolly, my kind of girl.
Am I? I don't know whether I am or not.
I know, and Kip Lodge rarely makes a mistake.
Why, honey, we're going to be rich.
Well, let me sleep on it. And I'll tell you tomorrow.
And now we bring you
Tomorrow, Kip.
the toast of the continent, the incomparable Dolly Laverne.
And as soon as Kip said that, Sergeant Preston, I decided I'd better tell you. Do you suppose Kip Lodge is one of the robbers? One of the murderers?
Well, I'll know more in the morning. Horace is working on something special for me that might prove invaluable. Did Loge tell you where this cabin was situated?
No, only that he had a fortune in furs. Sergeant, I'm afraid of Kip Lodge. If he finds out that Horace knows anything...
Horace is a fine fellow. Shows a lot of promise.
Yes, he is rather nice. He's quiet. Not like most men I know. Not like Kip Lodge.
Well, you go to bed. Let me handle this. You've helped the case a lot already. Good night.
Jeremiah!
Might as well face it, Horace. You're lost, stupid. Jeremiah! Jeremiah!
Gus Ramsey, buyer of stolen furs. Now things are beginning to take shape. Follow him, King. Come for my picture. Yeah, that's Loge, all right, in an unlisted boat.
Hey, I'm in here and I can't get out.
Well, only you would pull a stunt like that. Next time, don't slam the door so hard you drop the bar. Say, that picture you made.
The Mountie. Loge. A picture of Loge. Holy smoke.
Right there, Ramsey.
I don't like this, Loge. Preston after you, an Indian killed. Killing's not in my line.
You'll change your tune when you see these pelts.
I still don't like this deal.
These furs are worth a fortune. You're getting them for a quarter of their value.
Yes, I know, but a man's been killed, and I don't like it. But if The rest are as good as these. I tell you what they'll do.
Where have you been? Look, Lodge. Preston's on to us. You, this section of the river, the woods, everything, right here in this picture.
I'm getting out of here.
We're not leaving without those furs. Get them in the boats fast. You heard me? We're heading downriver to Alaska. Get going!
Jeremiah! Ho! Ho!
Right back at the cabin. I might have known. Hey, you in there. How's the toothache?
Dean, is that you?
Good grief, that sounded like Preston. Sergeant Preston?
Unbar the door.
How did you get in there?
I fell into a trap. I lost a lot of time. He took that print with him. Can you make me another?
I'm all set up.
Well, if you can make several, I'll use them for posting.
Sure.
The fellow must have stolen Rex.
Well, what are you going to do?
Wait a minute. Good boy, King. I knew I could count on you. Thanks, Bean. You've helped a lot. I think we've got them on the run. They'll probably be forced to go downriver by boat so they can get across the border with those furs.
Well, how are you going to stop them?
Well, I'll cross the river above 40 Mile. Stop them at the bend.
May I do anything to help, Sergeant?
No, you've helped a lot, Bean. Remember, this is my job, and they've killed one man already.
We're in luck, Ramsey. That's Dolly's horse.
A time like this, you talk about women?
This means I get a chance to pay them both back.
What are you talking about? Have you gone loco?
I have a personal score to settle. You walk up to the door and get their attention. I'll tend to the rest. Then with the horse, we'll be so far away from here by dark, Preston will never catch us. He won't even know which way we're gone.
Now, this is for night shots. Magnesium ribbon. Makes everything as light as day.
Well, isn't it terribly dangerous?
Well, not when you know how to handle it. For instance, you...
Hello.
Don't either of you move. This is where I square things up.
Grab him, Ramsey! Careful, Lord, don't let that thing go off.
All right, stop there. Tyler, get on the other side of that tree with your back to it. Ward, you get up there with your back to the tree. You get your hands behind you.
Sergeant! Sergeant! Dolly's in there!
I had a hunch they'd follow you here. Lose, Ramsey, come on with your hands up.
One more step, Preston, and the girl here gets the next one.
Well, that stopped the Mountie. Feel a lot better if I know where Bean is.
Don't shoot! Don't shoot!
There we are. I'll arrest you both in the name of the Crown.
Horace. Oh, darling.
Now, get your hands behind your back.
Sorry you had to come back from Dawson to pick up my sworn statement, Sergeant. I would have brought it down to you.
It's all part of my job, Mr. McBain. You may have to come down to testify. However, it'll be worthwhile if it'll help convict the robber that murdered that Indian.
Sergeant, we wanted you to hear the good news.
I telegraphed my paper in New York the story of how we caught Loge and his gang. The editor thought it was great.
He sent an immediate reply. The paper's sending Horace to Manila to cover the war with Spain.
I'm sailing with General Otis from Frisco on the next troop ship.
Yes, he's a full-fledged war correspondent, aren't you?
That's right. Thanks to you, and King, and Sergeant Preston.
And I'm going to wait for him in San Francisco.
Well, congratulations to you both. King? No doubt about it. This case is closed.